Welcome back to the Sanctions channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. And a new feature. It's called City Art Attack. Yes, I'm no artist myself, but there's plenty of good ones out there, of course. And this is going to bring you all the best in city graphics, images, and some talented graphic designers and artists out there producing lots of stuff. In the main, they just want likes and retweets, but they're open to offers, they're open to commissions, all this sort of thing, and they do sell prints of the work and posters and various things. So please, anything you like or any guys you like, get in touch with them. So we're going to have a look at some stuff today. This is a sort of an offshoot from the One City show, which we used to include this in, but obviously that was getting quite large. So I've stuck this to one side and separated it. So hopefully you will enjoy what we've got today. Please, if you are new to the channel, please push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications. I do everything city, past, present, and forever, of course. And please, if you do like what you see, give us that thumbs up. Try and get about between 15 and 20 for these football vlogs, which I can usually manage. But if you can do that for me, it'll make an old City fan very, very happy. Yeah, some of these guys are City fans. I will mention it. Some aren't particularly. They may support other teams and do work for other teams, and even these City fans may do art and graphics for other teams and players, etc. as well. And a couple of these guys have stuff put out there by City themselves. So yeah, I'll touch upon that. Obviously, they do work for Manchester City, so you would have seen their work in and around the Manchester City sites and even the match day programs. But more of that in a moment. But please, all you can do, most of these guys just ask for, like I say, likes and retweets, etc. So that's and shares. That's all they want. So please, all these little ats I'm going to give you today, and I need some guys on Facebook as well. Give them a follow or friend them, or whichever way you do it, depending which media it is. And yeah, as well as the artwork, I'll be looking at some pictures, old and new, around City of the fans that took the eye over the last probably 4 or 5 weeks that have been since we had the last One City show feature. So just before we get started, just a couple of shout-outs I want to give. These may feature in the One City show in the future, but I've just included them here because obviously I did promise these guys I would. Frederick Berger at Berger Frederick, who has a podcast, which is in Danish, so you got to know Danish to get the full benefit. So any Danish-speaking guys who tune into this, please give him a follow at Berger Frederick and follow the links to listening to this great Danish-based City podcast. I did say I'd give you a mention, and please do that for me. I'm sure it'd be much appreciated. And just a shout out to this guy claims to be the very first City fan in Nigeria. Now, how correct that is, I don't know, but he's a good guy. He is a good guy either way, so it doesn't matter. We won't quibble. And it's OCB at Ola City Boy, BOI. It'll be up there on the screen. And he just wanted a shout out. Just please give him a follow and sort of get in and follow him on Twitter. He would appreciate that. And I did promise I would give him one, so I'll give him one. So there you go. Give him a follow, guys. Make him happy. That'll really make me happy. Make him happy. On to the art. Yeah, I'll start with a regular to our channel, of course. A big talent, big talent. Shikar, a big City fan, of course, at SG_designs_. He does work on Photoshop and does freelance work. If you want freelance work, just DM him straight. Just follow him, DM him, and have a chat with him. He's got some great images here. A great one of McAtee, of course, commemorating his appearance versus Fulham in the FA Cup. But he's also done one, and he rejigged it, and I found it, obviously, a flashback to one he did back in July 2021, obviously, when he wasn't as well known. So it's great to have those two images. And not in our blue just yet. Not yet. Will be soon. But we have Alvarez celebrating another goal there for a River Plate, which is a great image, and it'd be obviously dramatic license is always used with some of these images. And a Vinny goal, yes, a typical Vinny celebration there, isn't it? An adaptation of Vinny goal, obviously against United, but a unique celebration with certain players that he might not have been in that image with, if you like, but again, an interpretation and a great image from Shikar there, and of course Ukraine features a little bit in this vlog today, little images, etc. And of course, with Ukraine in our minds, this Stand with Ukraine image of Zinchenko by Shikar is, these are all Shikar stuff, is absolutely brilliant. And of course Foden there, Foden gets the old Puma backdrop. Yeah, you can just see an outline of Puma in the back. So if you go onto his page or give him a follow, you'll be able to get a better look at that image. Well, that's a great thing of Foden. So my thanks to him. He's one of our regulars, great and supports me as well. Does stuff, helps me out and retweets, etc., etc. Another one of our regulars, and also a City fan. So I'll give these guys a follow. Chase at Wavy Creations _ just turned 20 about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so happy belated birthday, mate. And of course, he has his clients include, which another guy does later on, include at Man City and at Squawker as well. So you'll see some of these things if you do go on those sites, if you like, Cities and Squawker. He's got a great shattering glass image there of Riyad Mahrez. Would he run through a plate glass window for City? Would you? Probably accidentally if you didn't notice it. But it's a great image anyway, isn't it? An image of KDB that he called a glitch in the Matrix. So there's nothing glitchy about KDB, is there, in the Matrix? And Phil Foden, he's certainly not a glitch, a very similar style, but he's certainly not a glitch in the Matrix, and that's for sure. And there's a great Pep. This was probably came out just after I'd done the last One City show a couple of months ago around Pep's birthday. A great one there of Pep, absolutely brilliant, from Chase at Wavy Creations _ And another great one here, Stu at Mataniels, yeah, a regular at the Etihad, another City fan. I only ask you to like and share this stuff, etc. And as I'm sure if you DM him, he might do special things, etc. I'm not too sure how it works out, but I'm sure at Mataniels won't mind, compliments anyway. And why not? There's some great stuff. We've got Kyle Walker, who's obviously getting, I think that's an empty Etihad, but an empty Etihad rocking. Empty Etihad, that's what we call it. We don't call it out the word that someone else did. So great image of Kyle Walker. And he had a Cancelo that he transferred to posters. And he shows these things as like towels and different things as well. So it's very good how at Mataniels does this. Some young guns, in course, including Foden, Palmer, although Foden's probably old head now, and he's probably an old gun now. Foden, Palmer, McAtee, Cakey and Delap all feature in that image, which is brilliant. There's no doubt, of course, our Brazilian legend. We see him in pink, don't we? Even with the pink tights, but he seems to get away with it. I'm not gonna quibble with him, that's for sure. Our Brazilian legend Ederson looks great in pink. And I think that image proves it, if proof be needed. Eric Laporte has got to be a must, hasn't he, Eric? I think we call him Eric now, don't we? It's as simple as that. Some Bernardo, my hero, of course, my namesake, some Bernardo wallpaper, and why not? City of the Ace of Clubs, yeah, there's some other stuff. If you check out at this guy, I mean, there's loads of stuff. I couldn't feature everything. There's just so much City stuff. Stu at Mataniels. Yeah, please go on and check this Ace of Clubs. And there's others with players on as well, and it can be used on iPhone as wallpaper and stuff like that. A City badge there incorporating Ukraine, of course. Getting back to that subject, which of course we can all get behind. Hopefully you won't mind me using that in future vlogs. And a Zinchenko No War special. That's pretty immense, isn't it? That's a fantastic image. Jack and Phil, well, we know there's a love story, don't we? We know there's a love story with Jack and Phil, so this will run and run, but that's a lovely image. Obviously, that came out after Valentine's Day, but it would have been nice to, perhaps for next year, it'll still be there, won't it? And more iPhone wallpaper, if anyone wanted it, of KDB, of course. Some great stuff. A brilliant Gundogan special, though the stats is a bit specific, so it's sort of more or less out of date once it went on to the next game. But so what? It's a moment in history, isn't it? It's a moment in time. So that's a brilliant Gundogan thing. And Betty, Delap and Sterling special. Yeah, this was brilliant. This was before the Sporting Lisbon game, of course, at the Etihad. And Betty, Delap and Sterling. So that is absolutely brilliant. I mean, some of these images are outstanding. And he put a brilliant Fernandinho thing together. He didn't play, of course, pre-Crystal Palace. Obviously a disappointing game, but there's certainly nothing disappointing with that image. Another young lady we follow, she does lots of stuff. She's obviously not just City-fied, but vanendra.png at Valencia CF, a regular, obviously on the One City show, and now will no doubt be a regular on this show as well. Not just City, but some great stuff. A gritty Raheem Sterling effort there. He looks almost adult, doesn't he? He looks almost like a man. I mean, Raheem always looks young to me, but in that one, he looks very determined. And of course, in honour of our commanding centre half, a great backdrop there for our injured at the moment, but hopefully, fingers crossed, soon to be back, Ruben Diaz. OD Designs, yes, at OD_Designs 46. He only wants retweets for these things. This KDB offering is excellent. I think you'll agree with that. And there's a lot of KDB stuff, but keep your eye on him and give him a follow as well. But he's only asking for retweets. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to retweet, does it? And share this stuff, which is great, and gets their name about. There's some great work. Matt Large Design at Matt Large Design went all retro. Yeah, he went all retro on his. We're a fan of Micah and Mika Richards, or Micah. I always call him Micah. It could be Mika. I'm not too sure what we call him. We don't take the Mika of him, do we? I think Mr. Roy Keane tries to, but he doesn't get away with it. But that's a great retro, even with the old badge as well, which is up on my wall at the back there. So that's a great one from at OD_Designs 46. Sorry, that's Matt Large Designs. Sorry, my apologies. Matt Large Design, that's the Mika Richards one. Amit at Miam Itshukla. There you are. It'll be up on there. It'll be up on the screen. So obviously, forgive my pronunciation. Another City fan, he shared a great graphic of Pep. I think that is a brilliant one. Just slightly different to the others, I think. Slightly different to some of the others. I just think it's a brilliant thing that should be on a wall. For me, that should be a poster or a picture framed on a wall. I just think it's excellent of Pep. Rakan at RKNDZZN, or ZN if you're not British, has a very colourful image there. Very Caribbeanish, isn't it, of Raheem Sterling? It certainly brightens up the day. You certainly wake you up in the morning if you had that on your office wall, that's for sure. And interesting, we're going to go on to a guy who does a lot of stuff for City, and there's going to be a couple of things there you might recognise from quite recently. And obviously, he covered, it was around about the Super Bowl I was doing, so again, that was after the last One City show. But Dom at DBan_, another City creator who said, works for at Man City. Didn't let the Super Bowl affect the fact that it was football, and just put obviously the City guys in the football kits, in the American football kits, which I thought was brilliant. That was prior to the Norwich game, of course, which was around about the same time. And, of course, we took on Brentford as well at a similar time. And a very surreal picture, a very surreal image as City players were collecting honey from bees. And obviously the nickname, of course, of Watford, the Bees. But that was a bit quirky, but absolutely brilliant. I like that. I like anything a little bit unusual, as you know. Plus, here's just a selection. There's loads of stuff. If you go on at DBAN_, loads of stuff for City. Of course, if you remember the Derby Day programme with the Bohemian Rhapsody style on the front, yeah, that was him. That was this guy. Brilliant stuff for the original image there. Fantastic stuff from this guy. And it was no Winter Olympics when that started without City on the slopes, was it? Again, I can only keep saying things like stunning and brilliant and wonderful. I mean, it just is. Cancelo is staying to 2027, so this deserves a little print as well. And of course, as we celebrated 500 points, this was what City put out. This was his design. Absolutely brilliant. So I said he's a guy to watch and follow and keep in tune with, to get some of these images even perhaps before City put them out. I don't know how it works, whether he does it before or he does it after. I assume there's copyright things, but I'm sure City don't mind when it's promoting the name of the club, of course. Walms Designs, an Arsenal fan, yeah, he did a little KDB homage. We're not short KDB this month, that was worthy of a mention. And DD at DD_graphics_ is a great slant on City stuff. And this Alvarez watching his hero Sergio is perhaps, yeah, again, dramatic license, but very, very good all the same. He has said, obviously, that he's a big admirer of Sergio, of course he has. And then an imaginary sequence, of course, taking it a little bit of a step further with dramatic license of the baton being passed from Sergio to Alvarez is absolutely brilliant. So please, all these guys, sort of say, some do commissions, just DM if they do, just check the details. And if they do commissions, just please DM them. I'm sure they'll be glad to hear from you. But overall, just give them your support, give them a follow, and then just press that notification so you know when they're putting these little artworks out and stuff, because they're absolutely fantastic. And some of the best images, away from art as such, just some of the best images featuring City and our fans recently. Sean Riley at MCFC since 1894. Superb image of main road before a roof. I assume that's the north stand. The north stand. Without I can see the score, what looks like the scoreboard just in the between the floodlights. So I assume that's the angle coming from the streets up that way. Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't look like that coming from the Kippack Street way, would it? So it's got to be the north stand before the roof, etc. So and the cars. If you look at the cars, it looks 30s, 40s, something like that. I say I'm not a big car bloke. You could probably tell me, but a fantastic image from Shaw at MCFC since 1894. Jimmy Searles loved China. He's not a City fan, but he does lots of old stuff, lots of memorabilia, a lot of it. All sort of hits home to City fans at JS Lovechild, and he has some great history stuff, of course, including City. And of course, we've got Asa Hartford and his matchbook collection or matchbox collection. There's matchboxes and matchbooks, isn't there? So obviously, he did say matchbox collection on there, but I would love to know what inspired Asa to collect matchbooks and matchboxes. I have no idea, but that is a great picture. Dave Benson on Facebook shared an image of a long-gone City Beach badge. I'm sure it's not there anymore. It would have perhaps just lasted for an afternoon, but some great work went into this, and at least someone took a picture of it and got it sort of down in memory, if you like. But that's great on the beach. And just this is what I found doing some of my history vlogs as I'm looking back through old programmes and magazines. I found this great caricature of Alan Oakes, of course, a legend. So 600 and odd games. I can't remember the exact figure, guys, but yeah, I thought it was a great caricature of Alan Oakes, so I thought I'd share that with you. I think that's from one of our match day programs back in the 60s. Alan at Alan_Bradwell. Yeah, he was pretty proud of his new tattoo, and why not? I don't have a tattoo to my name. It's not something that ever appealed to me, but he did actually tag in Natalie Pike, so he was quite impressed with it. He wanted Natalie Pike to see it, that's for sure. I'm sure she appreciated it. But that's at Alan_Bradwell. What a fantastic, brilliant tattoo. Gold.com, yeah, like any so-called neutral organisation, they put out some good stuff and some dodgy stuff on City, but this was a nice little image after the Manchester Derby, of course, where we beat United 4-1. Of course, we painted the City of Manchester blue. I thought that was quite cleverly done by Goal.com. So all credit to them. When they do something correct, I'll say it. I'll stick with them. I'm sticking to the Derby. Phil Banerjee, one of our regulars, of course. We all know Phil Banerjee on Facebook. Put an amazing photo. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's been a bit cheeky, and I don't think this was actually a picture of Maguire, but I can understand what he's saying after being skinned by KDB and Foden. But no, Phil, that was a bit naughty, but hey, it's just a bit of fun. I'm sure Maguire doesn't mind. Yeah, he certainly probably looked like that, often puffed after that game. That's for sure. On Facebook, Chris Howard shared the sport headlines, of course, from the Derby win. I mean, this is just what memories are made of, isn't it? I love that. I don't collect all. I couldn't afford to buy all the papers. I always try and buy one or two after a match. But yeah, this is some great wallpaper, some great images there at the back pages, the sports pages for the Derby hammering, some great titles and headlines as well. So that was nice. Thanks to Chris for sharing that, all those headlines. At Hamnet Phil has been producing some great images and stirring some great memories among City fans at Hamnet Phil. Yeah, loads of stuff every day. There's loads of tweets put out by him. And a photo by Peter Beard has two fans proudly showing their 81 Wembley banner. Not the biggest banner. Mine was massive. I had trouble getting it in. Which simply said, "Reed arrests crooks." Which, if you know anything, it's obviously not Peter Reed. It's obviously Nicky Reed, of course, and Spurs' Garth Crooks. I mean, mine was Jerry Gow eats cockerel and 3 shredded wheat for breakfast. But you had to be there at the time to know what that means, because it was significant, the 3 shredded wheat for breakfast. So there you go. So things like that. doesn't tend to happen now, is it? They're all sort of bulk made, aren't they? These banners. It's not much fun anymore. But that was a great photo. And Hamnet Phil also shared a great image in 1990 taken outside the North Stand as the floodlights were being dismantled. I wouldn't mind being there, so you could have a little bit of steel off it or something like that. I think this is taken from the City Years book, and photo was by Crossland Ward Senior, I think it was, if I'm right there. But that's a great image, 1990. So, 32 years ago? I say that was one of our own claim to fame at the time, wasn't it? The biggest floodlights in Europe at one stage, which was, that's all we had to hang. That's all we had to hang on to. Hey, we got all right. We might not have a great football team. We've got the biggest floodlights in Europe, though. So that was one of our things. So yeah, that was a great image though, of them being dismantled. I said I wish I'd known at the time. I would have gone there and tried to nick a bit of the floodlight. At least it'd be some memory. You could sell bits off of that, couldn't you? I'm sure they did. I'm sure someone must have had bits of it, and let me know if you got a bit of the old floodlights. Have you got a lamp? Have you got one of the lamps? That'll be good. Let me know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I say a lot of the artwork and just some images from in and around the internet, Twitter and Facebook. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Art Attack, and I'll hopefully do it every 4, 5, 6 weeks or so, depending on how much. There's lots of stuff out there, and give all these guys a follow. As I said, that'd be great, and give them your support as fellow City fans, and even the ones who aren't City fans, but if they produce City stuff, why not give them your support? Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Let me know, guys. Thanks for watching. What we're going to do rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. Till meet here again on the Citizen channel. I know that's one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.